Welcome back for Iron Curtain Grades Our Shit, Episode 2. Today we're taking a look at this fun house of horrors that X is calling The Escape from Alcatraz. I'll state for the record that this weird monstrosity is 100% his idea, so the caveat being if it works phenomenally, he gets all the credit, and if it crashes and burns, well, it's all X's fault, and we can all make fun of and laugh at him. So
I'm used to that over the years, so it's whatever. I don't
that's
care.
fair.
Let's see what happens.
So you got a big concrete box here. It looks like some sort of neo-cubist, ultra-modern home that someone would have built in the 70s. Explain to me what the fuck is going on here, because the only thing I can think of is it looks like some sort of like giant ship dry dock.
I mean, you're not terribly far off. So if you go in the front door here and stay flying, otherwise you're
Okay,
gonna
yeah,
run over these
yeah, you
spikes.
think? Maybe I'll stay airborne for this one. I'll give this a little go here. All right, you got
All right.
enough cameras to
So
make Pornhub blush. That's fun.
right, and the escape from Alcatraz kind of comes from these bars over here on the sides.
Oh,
If you
that's
look
fun.
through these bars, there's a little surprise back there for the Zeds.
Is there a surprise on
These are
there?
fully
Is. There's
loaded.
so there's staggered
Fully,
surprises. Well, I see what you got here. You got a wall of steel, and then a surprise, and then spikes, and then a surprise, and then steel with the surprise over there. Okay, I see what you got going on here.
and if you look right around your ankles, there's some electric
Oh
fence wire
shit, yeah.
tripping
Oh,
shit up.
you sick
So the
fuck.
learn from the best.
Yeah, well,
So the thought process behind this is we got these cameras set to train on Zeds as they come in. They're going to come rambling in here, hit this electric fence, and kind of freeze frame while
okay,
these dart traps are just blasting them in the side of the head. Good part about
okay,
the dart traps is they will not trigger demos, so we don't have to worry about those things kicking those things off.
okay. So the idea would then be to let the base do all the work and not so much us shooting. But obviously, you're not going to want demos popping anywhere near in this because that's going to get fucked up
No,
quick.
this is going to be a marksman rifle headshot night, but
Gotcha.
because these darts are 3 iron and 1 clay to make
Oh, that's dirt
versus
cheap.
however much it costs to make an actual ammo. No nitrate, no lead, no brass, no nothing.
Yeah, we have more clay than we know what to do with just from digging all the holes that we've dug out of. I mean, we got like 3 boxes full of nothing but clay, 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 more clay. I got more clay than Clay
Exactly.
Aiken. It's ridiculous.
And then next step up here, they're going to hit another electric fence, another set of dart traps, and if they make it that far, they're going to run into these spikes, which are going to just kind of freeze them in that second set of dart traps,
Sure.
just for some little extra fun, little extra fuck
Okay,
you.
okay, I see what's going on here. And then you've just got repeating rows of that all the way up. And then, oh, see, now I'm always a fan of the embedded spikes, the embedded barbed wire. I appreciate what that does. So what's going on off to the sides here then? You've got just generators out the ass powering this thing. You've got, okay, so you're
Yep,
staggering your barbed wire, your electric fencing. I see what you're doing here. And I'm assuming then
yep.
it's going to be, okay, so it's the alternate setup on the other side. So each row of barbed wire is powered by one side. See, now I like that because then if one side gets shit on, the other side is still up and running, so you're still going to have some capacity here. How
Yep. One.
much did it
Go ahead.
cost you to build all these goddamn generators?
We're not going to talk about it. We're just not going to think about it. We luckily play a metric ass ton, and we find a lot of stuff. So we had all the stuff laying around for it. Now, this is a very much, very, very end game base, very mad scientisty. You've done everything. Now let's see how bad we can fuck them up. Kind of
Sure,
design.
sure. Any
Because
idea
nothing about this is cheap.
any idea going into it what the gas straw is going to look like?
Well, funny you say that,
So
because
it's only two per. That's actually not too bad. One,
no,
two,
it's
four,
it's not
six,
not at all.
8, 10, 12, 14, 16,
Yes,
22. Oh,
22. So it's
20,
not
20. So
terrible.
I'd say that's only one.
This,
So 16. Yeah, okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, if you were running full banks of 6, which I get why you staggered them like this, that makes sense from a security standpoint. You're really only
right,
running like 3 full banks. So each side is going to have draw similar to about what the total was for the moat base.
exactly. And this generator here back in the corner is actually powering the lights. And because I'm a dumbass, I left the light generators on for the better part of 2 weeks
Oh,
during
fun.
different raids, different horde nights, and only blew through like 400 gas
Oh, that's
powering the
not bad at all.
lights. So, no, I don't think it's going to use much in the term of gas
Okay, so we'll
consumption.
want to make sure that these are all topped off before the night so we can get an accurate reading, but I think you're pretty
Yeah,
much there
they
already.
should be all ready to go. And then I have way more darts in here, way more dart traps than you could ever possibly need. So, and they're all full to kind of get an idea of what the actual usage is. Now, I when I was sciencing this build put together, so the kind of concept behind this, where I got this idea, we did the killing corridor that failed miserably. If you go back and look at that video, it's kind of
Sure.
hilarious. Um, and I'm like, how can I fix this? How can I make this work? And this went from a killing corridor to kind of a tunnel of love to kind of a tunnel of fuck you. Um, Now, when I built this over on my personal game, I on that use creative. This is all
Sure.
hand dug, handmade. I had it only probably 6 to 7 deep, or 6 to 7, 6 to 8. Sorry,
That's how I
low.
like to
Or
roll,
I
six
can't
to eight deep. All right, continue.
can't freaking talk today. 6 to 8 dart traps in the entire thing, and I was just spawning in loads of different types of Zeds just to see what happened,
Sure.
and most of them made it to here, made it to the first one, and just kind of fell over dead from the dart spiking into
So
them.
you're crazy redundant here then.
Oh yeah, they shouldn't make it even halfway down. I just wanted to make sure there was no way in
Okay.
hell they were going to make it to us. I even spawned in a set of 25 demos just as an ultimate test. Now, those made it all the way down, but died at the last one. Again,
Okay.
a lot shorter tunnel, so they shouldn't even make it that far. And this one didn't have the spikes, so even more.
Okay, and I see you've got the roof access there, which is good. A little bit of an escape hatch, always good. We're gonna want to clear those boxes out. You know, let's do that right now, just so we don't do it.
Those boxes are the way in.
Ah, okay.
You,
Yeah, I
you,
gotcha.
you
I
jump the
gotcha.
boxes. Last one in gets the boxes.
Okay, I see what's going on. Yeah, we got lazy and demo flight mode here. All right. So my only concern off the front of this, and maybe you have an answer for it, is on when the game where you tested this, so it tracked well when it was only 6 or 8 deep. Have you been able to check the tracking at all, or are we in for some rude surprises on one where the
Um,
entry is this far away from where we're going to be standing?
so I haven't got a wandering horde or anything to come through to track it, but I did kind of go into town, wrangle up 3 or 4 at a time, and kind of coerced them over and sprinted my way to the back. And from about yonder over here at the tree, they would track inside and
Up the
start
front
getting
stairs here?
screwed up. Yeah,
Okay, okay. My only other recommendation, I think maybe it would behoove us to steel these entire front steps up now, looking at it prior to the Horde Night, just to give this a little more durability, because if these stairs go ugly, then they're going to have no choice but to hack at the basement. But shy of that, I'm actually really curious to see how this comes together.
right. This is either going to work really, really well or just have us running back in terror.
We are quite a ways away to run in terror.
Yeah, yes, we are. We maybe we park some gyrocopters on the roof here
Oh
as a
my
little
god,
way out.
for real. You actually got a nice takeoff and landing strip by the time you're done with this, good lord. Okay, so with our two normal grading criteria, supplies needed and build difficulty, give us a little insight on supplies needed, and I think I know where you're going with this because, yeah, wow.
Expensive as balls.
You were an expensive date with this one, man, no lie. I think you just consigned me to several hours in my big pit mine just to replace the concrete alone here, much less all the iron and the dart. I mean, the darts aren't expensive, but you've got 1,500 of them times what, 30? Some insane
Some
number like
obnoxious
this?
number. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
I think it was like 45,000 darts left.
Christmas better be good for me this year. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So supplies needed. I mean, I almost want to say NA because this is so far heavily end game that you
Right.
have to be to the point where not only do you have this kind of these kind of resources laying around, but you have to have these kind of resources laying around and to the point where it doesn't matter that you spend this much.
Right. Now, typically you could do this at half the size, half the cost,
Sure.
and be perfectly fine.
Go
But
big or
I
go
just
home,
wanted
right?
to go build exactly just as big as this stupid monstrosity could get.
Okay. So yeah, supplies were. I kind of want to take supplies needed off book because yeah, this is so expensive that I think it kind of is in a realm of its own. Anybody who looks at this video, I can tell you right now, and I should almost put it up front as like a little disclaimer, like you have to be, Jeff Bezos level of wealthy and resources in order to string this together because holy shit. I've seen more expensive, but not by much, not by much. Build difficulty. How long do you think this Funhouse of Horrors here took you to actually put together? I know there's quite a bit going on here.
Well, once I got the concept down, it was really only like a couple of hours to put this thing together. The
Okay.
hardest part is the wiring, just making sure everything's wired in right, because
Yeah.
everything, like we said, is so redundant. Everything's on its own
Yep.
generator. But just getting shit lined up, getting it all put together, it's not too bad. I would give it. If you're at the point where you can build this, you can build this pretty easily.
Sure.
But personally, I give this like a C minus, D plus.
C minus D plus. Okay, I can see that. We'll call it a D plus because yeah, I think you could come and kind of do the idiot's version of wiring on this pretty easily.
Right.
If you're going to attempt to build something this involved, though, you should probably be smarter than that and have baked in the kind of redundancy that he's done here so that your traps are protected. If one series of electric fencing goes, they're still running and powered from the other side on the next consecutive line, that kind of thing.
Right.
And yes, keeping that straight can be, I don't want to say difficult, but aggravating long
Tedious.
term. Bouncing tedious. Tedious is a good word for it. So yeah, I think you're good on there with sort of that C minus D plus range for build difficulty. But again, this is so far beyond endgame that yeah, if you've gotten this far, you should have a handle on how to do something like this. And I'm not going to give you the Barney style breakdown of this because anybody who's made it to that point should be able to look at this and tell like, okay, I see what's going on here, and at least come up with a reasonable facsimile. I don't think the specific dimensions of this matter too much. Was there a particular reason, like that the hallway is 4 wide, or was that just kind of shooting for something that you could cram some shit into?
Shooting something I can kind of cram some shit into. The one that I made on my game was 3 wide. The concept behind it being as big as it is, that if a demo were to pop, they would have to pop up against the wall to even remotely come close to hitting the dart traps. Otherwise, I can
Okay.
make it a lot more narrow.
Okay, yeah, so it's a 6 block radius, one, two, yeah, no, you would. So if Demo was standing here in the middle or something, like, he's probably not actually going to skate either set of them. Your walls are going to get fucked up, but. So, worst case scenario then, and I think this will be fun, if it happens. If the
Okay.
steel, how thick are these walls here? Is this 2 all the way down? Is this,
Everything's too deep.
well, but here, okay, we got some unfinished concrete we should probably patch up before the night ends here too. I noticed an
Oh,
unfinished row here. Yeah, this row right up here.
oh, hey, check that out.
Yeah, look at that. But so these walls though, these are 1 thick, correct? Yeah, these are
Right.
1 block
Yeah.
thick. So if they manage to punch through one of these, like this steel wall here early on, and now they're kicking around back in here, shit's gonna
Then
get
we
a
got
little
problems.
interesting.
And that's why that's steel to prevent
Sure.
that from
And
happening.
I will say, if you're watching this and you're worried about that, the range on these dart traps and everything is enough that you could pretty easily push this 2, 3 thick. You could line this in plates to get similar durability the whole way down. There are a
Right.
lot of options you could do here. The dart traps have enough range that you could knock them back even further. If that becomes a fail point, we can talk about it at the end. But I
Right.
think the durability here isn't going to be a huge issue. We're gonna watch patch those up just because the radius likes
Yeah.
to travel through blocks if one of those fucks pops. But
The only issue with pushing this out a little wider, these electric fence posts are stretched to their max
sure,
without a break in the middle,
yeah, they
so
can
they
only
cannot
go
go
but
another
so
block
far.
back.
Well, worst case scenario, you could always, if somebody was worried or if this is a fail point, you could go 2 or 3 thick on this wall, move the fence posts up into like these little divots here. They
Yeah.
wouldn't be as protected, but you could close the gap. There are options. None of the
Oh
specifics
yeah.
of this design are so locked in stone that if we discover a fail point, which I hope we don't, But if we do discover one, I think it could be adjusted to compensate for those pretty easily. So, we got a couple hours before the Horde Night. I know we've got Hells is waiting in the wings in the lobby, and we'll see if we can get Davian and Neverwind in. And we will give this ungodly monstrosity a go and see what the hell happens. And meanwhile, we'll patch up your concrete, let that shit dry. Good lord. Let's see how she does. Okay, so here we are with the Horde Night up in full effect, and these things are getting fucking annihilated by this front door here. They're not making it any little bit in. I think maybe one spike trap down there is eaten it so far, but can see they're hugging that wall, but they're dying most painfully along the way. Combination dart trap, electric fence, and spike is locking him into place and not doing him any favors, that's for damn sure. Had a couple of minor technical issues at the beginning of the Horde Night, which is why we're kicking off 40 minutes in, not trying to pull any shenanigans or anything, but there were some recording issues, there was a glitch there, so we just decided to log out, restart everything, come back in. Nothing major, but that's why it's now 45 after and things look like they're just getting started. This is all that's happened so far tonight, though. They've just been piling into the front door and dying.
No boomers yet.
No, just remember, don't shoot him in the chest there, because shit'll get weird. If we open up the side hallways, I think that'll be the worst case scenario. With this kind of distance between us and the Horde, I mean, A, this is going to be kind of boring, I can tell already, but B, we can really pick and choose shots. There's no reason to take any kind of risky or spam shots. The dart traps are doing God's work down at the end there, no lie.
Dart traps are very underutilized. Like, you don't see them much in builds. And I don't know why. They fucking annihilate shit.
They are a little on the fragile side, no lie, but maybe you've compensated for that by having, you know, all of them. Save some dart traps for the other games, X. And in case you're wondering, Artemis in the Discord overlay is actually in-game, but just watching us and listening in, but we are still only testing with the usual 5 people. Let me show you, see? Look at 1, 2, 3, 4 other idiots, and then me, the idiot prime.
I'm going to call you that forever now, but...
Yeah, it's fine. So does my boss.
Just bringing back memories of the original pit base.
Little bit, yeah. There's no danger here, and it's just kind of a pick and choose your shots thing. This is...
Except, I'm not going to go in here with bat. That won't be good.
Let's do this.
Lots of irradiated bikers.
Yeah. They, what happens to an irradiated biker when it gets hit by lightning? I'll see myself out.
Please do.
I think we could, I mean, it'd be boring as all hell, but we could get away without shooting on this so far.
They don't seem to mind the
Congratulations,
walk.
X. You've made an immensely boring base. I'm going to go make a sandwich.
We are actually, when they come up, we are still out of boomer range or out of a cop range.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They don't stop to spit at us or
Yeah,
blow
there's
up.
been no loogies. No birds either. Hey, look at that. Imagine, no birds in our concrete box.
I got
was
smacked
that
by a couple while I was up checking on the walls.
You
That
know,
was all.
I'm going to go get some footage from up there just to see what's happening. I feel like you guys have that doorway under control. Oh, look, there's a bird right here. And another one. This is a great plan. I'm happy to be here. Hi. At least there's finally some action. Now, you are eventually going to have some dinosaurs on your dinosaur tour. Jesus!
We just let's post someone up there on bird duty that's not you.
No, it doesn't need to happen because they're not doing shit. Okay, I can see the stairs from here, and they have done no damage to those stairs. I just got loogied at by one dude. No big whoop there. Good God. It is literally all the birds, but they're just out here being really pissed off.
Oh hey, boomer.
Alright, heading back in. A lot of birds outside, but that's not our problem. Kermit meme. That ain't none of my business.
So, anyone for a game of checkers?
Right?
The way things are in North America right now, I think if we start talking about board games, half the viewers are just going to turn it off right there.
Yeah.
No more! I don't even like my family.
Shit.
Ooh. Okay, not ideal, but all that steel
was
should be able to
reloading.
take more than one easily, so. Nothing should have broken. We did lose a camera up there, though.
Test, you guys hear me good?
Yeah.
Alright, I had to switch to Artemis headset. Mine decided to die.
Oh.
You actually sound better, honestly.
Oh,
Really?
fuck. There goes another one. Okay, that could be a problem.
We only got 45 minutes. They're still pathing right to us. Should be okay.
Alright,
Except we have gaping holes down here now.
Do we? Let's see what they do. It's a good test.
Oh, yeah, those iron bars shit the bed, huh?
Yeah, I can see that. Are there any damage to the dart traps down there?
Yeah. The two by the broken wall are at about half.
Okay, but they're still alive.
They're still alive.
firing.
And these things are trying
Well,
to
I
fight
guess
us
they're
by
not
walking
flying.
across a line of electric fence, so it's not going well.
Right.
One of them slapped me and it made me angry.
I thought you liked that kind of thing.
Not from them.
Maybe there's
Oh,
a
hi.
bunch of boomers going down there.
Hellsrick was apparently punched out of the game.
Really? This is going interestingly. At least we got some excitement there at the end.
Yeah? Came in right in front of you, cowboy.
Yep.
There
Yeah, I
goes
wish you
the
could upgrade
best
Forest to
players.
Steel. Hopefully that's Hell's coming back.
My fucking laptop decided that, nah, we're gonna run out of battery
Oh,
while
fun.
we're plugged in.
Oh, that's entertaining.
Yeah, your base is so resource intensive, it drained my fucking battery.
Alright, so there is 4 o'clock. End of the Horde Night. Things got a little tweaky at the end there, but nothing too egregious. And like we mentioned in the build section, I think the problems that we encountered here at the very end could easily be countered with just a little double down on the wall thickness, that kind of thing. Nothing too crazy there. That would have, even too thick on
No.
all the walls would have prevented that, so.
We're
That's,
still getting some sneakers coming through here.
Alright, let's take a look. So obviously, with the 2 demo guys exploding down here, the spikes just got ate. Like, there's nothing that's gonna,
Right.
spikes aren't gonna survive that. But they actually, up until those 2 demos at the end popped, they were doing really well. They popped like right here because that's where the spike line was. So props to that. Let's see what we're looking at down the way here with the, God, that hurts.
Yeah, let's turn these generators off.
Damage on everything. That's probably not a bad idea. That's good. That's good. That's at half. That's at half. A lot of this end of the whole iron is hanging on for dear life right on top of where those things popped. But the ones like at the very beginning of the hallway are actually in phenomenal shape.
Oh, I got a generator at 3 health right here.
Ooh. What is it?
One right where they popped.
Yeah.
Right here.
Okay. So obviously, everything is weak to demo, and unfortunately what I've learned in some other builds is that demo explosions have a tendency to pass through walls. Personally, I think that's bullshit, but I don't know if you want to call it the shockwave or whatever. It will travel through not even just iron bars and stuff, but through solid walls, solid doors, that kind of thing. I've had, fence posts behind grade 3 steel doors. The doors survived the demo explosion, no problem. The door was shut. The fence post behind it was turned into liquid. So, going outside. So as I mentioned, we had steeled the stairs up right beforehand. Those survived pretty well, not too beat up here. Let's check the side walls.
Got a little bit of damage on the
Got
front.
some
here.
random pings here. Nothing even close to breaking, that's for sure. A little bit of random there. They weren't chewing on the back closest to us, really notably at all.
Right.
A lot of this is just random ping damage, and I suspect a lot of it's just the kind of damage they inflict when they're just swinging wildly as they walk by.
Most
So,
likely.
nothing too big to worry about there. The roof took a couple of spitter shots here and there, you can see. That's all well and good. The hatch here is untouched. How are these doors? The doors are untouched. So all in all, I think this held up pretty goddamn well, and it was a catastrophically boring horde evening until the last 30 minutes in game or so. Prior to those 2 demos popping, yeah, we were doing nothing. So for durability, we took, well, 2 demo hits at the very end that sent things kind of sideways, but the rest of the base is remarkably unscathed. I think, if no one disagrees, we can give this a solid A on durability. This thing's a fucking brick. It wasn't going anywhere. God damn. Which, you know, when you burn 7 million stone making concrete and a small state's worth of iron on walls and stairs and everything and trap, yeah, I would hope it's durable, so congratulations, your investment. They're paid off. We can talk
Yep.
about how indentured you are for how many years paying this back. Alright, so, safety. The first criteria, are the Zeds controlled? Dear God, yes. No matter where they spawned, they were tracking to the front door. It might take them a little while if they were way out in the back here, but they would run up to the front door here eventually, doing minimal damage along the way. When they got up here, they were in a path no more than 4 wide, and for most of the evening, they were actually filing in a single file line on either side. So, Zeds controlled. I can't see a reason to not give this a hard A. That was phenomenal. Like, that was some of the easiest shooting I've ever done, even compared to other bases that hyper directed them in terms of path. Like, a single file line for the entire horde. That's about as good as you're goddamn gonna do. They were lining up like we were the last place selling hand sanitizer, man. That was fucking nothing. So hard A on, are the Zeds controlled? Are the players in danger? Nev, did you move at all?
No,
I feel
I
yeah.
did. Well, I
You went up to
did.
the roof like twice.
I went up to the roof once, shot 3 birds. Then when the 2 boomers went off, the 2 demos, I came up to the front to add some fully automatic firepower just in case. And that was about it.
There was no danger here at all. I've done more damage to myself flying across this fucking spike pit than anything. Like, they were never near us, even when Hells and I got to the end, and then, you know, Hells had a little connection issue there, and this base killed his laptop, apparently, but he's back now.
It flatlined my fucking battery.
Right. But even when we were back there shooting, there was never any real consistent danger, because they were trying to fight us through a line of electric fencing, so we just sat here blasting away. Are the players in danger? That's another perfect score. 100 out of 100. Hard A. Good, nicely done. I'm impressed by the level of safety in this. Resources used: ammo and gas. So gas. Did we get a final count on gas?
Gas is about average of 30, 35 per generator.
30, 35 per generator. So we've been really generous and rounding this up to 1,000 gas, which is A-. 1,000 gas is nothing, especially if you have the resources to build a monstrosity like this, even at half size. You have 1,000 gas, and if you don't, I don't know what you're doing. You're doing something wrong. As for ammo total, I was under 1,000 rounds. Hells, what'd you burn?
600.
600. Davian?
I was probably up around 1100 with the SMG fire at the end of the night.
Okay. X?
450.
Nev?
399.
We got out of this night for under 5,000 rounds. Now, caveat to that, what was the final count on the darts?
About 13,000 darts, which there are 1 clay and 3 iron per.
So
you're looking at
fuck all.
40,000 iron.
Yeah, that's not bad at all, honestly. You do a good iron mine and you can fill every one of these. And like we keep saying, you could build this at half size and use a lot less in construction and upkeep too. So ammo, this is under 5,000 rounds of brass ammo. That's a hard A. That's the best night we've had so far in this entire series. Darts, obviously that's a lot of darts, but they're dirt cheap, so whoop-de-doo. That's easy. A on ammo. Cheese? I don't see any cheese here. I really don't.
Baked potato.
I think, yeah,
Baked
baked
potato.
potato. Baked potato. I mean, this is tracking them up a flight of stairs into a box, and then the box is just lined with shit. The box is hard to get through. That's not cheesy, but it sure as shit turned out to be effective. Baked potato.
I was gonna say the only thing I could think of is if they ever changed their pathing so that zombies would actively try to avoid traps, and then they try to like dig through the side instead of coming up the stairs. But
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't
maybe
see
at
that
some point if
happening.
they got that smart, but if we ever see that, I think it'll be a while, no lie. For 18, you're definitely safe building something like this.
oh yeah,
Chances of being patched out? There's
Not a
nothing
chance.
There's nothing to patch. I mean, unless they just were like, oh, we're going to take dart traps out. You're fine. This is nothing to patch here. You're good. Final grade. Now, performance. This was phenomenal. Construction. This cost... oh, fuck. Yeah, I'm
Big
not
minor.
kidding you. He X owes me the Wookiee life debt for the amount of mining he just signed me up for to replace all this. Dear fucking God. Yeah, you know, I think you're on the money there, Hells. B- sounds about right. This is expensive as shit. This is ultra. We're about to quit playing endgame base. This is so damn expensive. But you get what you pay for, and this is a really good example of
Yeah.
that. This is virtually unscathed. Even the hits that it did take from demo blowing up here, it's going to cost nothing to fix this in the grand scheme of things. And honestly, if you can build a room this small and figure out a way to have a pair of demo guys exploding inside of it not be catastrophic fail, I think you're on track. Like, that's doing it correctly, because most concepts, if a demo exploded in this tight of a space, things would instantly go catastrophically sideways. And that really didn't happen here. We had to adjust our shooting a little bit, but we kept it running. We even kept a few more from popping. So, yeah, I think this gets a nice B- and a pat on the back. Well done, buddy. Well done.
Woohoo! First base I ever built.
Yay! So up next, we've got another original. This is my kind of inadvertently, we had very similar ideas back to back. Mine, I will say, is conceptually different, though. It does path them down a hole like this, but the results and the way it handles them are very, very different. And actually, now I'm a little worried about it, seeing how this performed. Mine may not be up to par. We will see. So that'll be next, and then we've got some other ideas kicking around. We're going to start construction on pretty soon here. But as always, we appreciate y'all for watching. Thank you, and we will catch you next time.